Hey everybody. I thought I would share an update to my Mathmech list and talk about some of my experiences this past weekend. My girlfriend's been out of town, so I have played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the past 3 days. Just prepping for the Boca Raton Regional coming up, and just kind of honing a game as we move closer to the YCS that we will be going to. Not necessarily Niagara. I know this weekend's Niagara Falls YCS, but the next American YCS is in Minneapolis in October. So we're going to travel to that and try to, at least goal-wise, try to get to day 2 there. So that's kind of a tangible goal for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Side of this channel. So over the weekend, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, I played in 3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments, all at Oblivion Games here in Tampa. The competition was pretty good. Only had one tournament that was kind of largely represented by Rogue. That was the Sunday tournament. I was able to perform pretty well over the 14 rounds of Swiss that we had. I'm 13-1 with this list. It's pretty good. I was able to get 2 undefeated wins on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday 5 rounds, Sunday 4 rounds. In the final match of the Friday night tournament, we did take a loss to Tier Elements, so we weren't able to go for the 3-peat sweep of the 3 locals, but we were able to perform pretty well. We had some good interactions come up. Only one of the games went to time. So everything else was either a good 2-0 or a good game 3, and luckily none of them were really marred by time constraints. So I did want to update on the list that I'm playing. It's similar to the one that I profiled on the channel earlier, except I've changed some of the ratios and kind of tweaked some things. In that video, if you have watched it, if not, go check it out. Maybe come back to watch this, see what's changed, some of the lines of reasoning. We cut the triple tactics. Honestly, as hand traps are they're only really present in Mathmech and Rogue, and in those matchups, we're gonna feel favored anyways. You know what I mean? Like in a mirror match, I'm just going to lean on the fact that maybe I'm a little more versed with the deck, or a little more experienced, or or can outplay. A die roll matchup, those type of mirror matches. They're down to tech choices, which me playing super polys, I should be favored in a mirror match. So I don't think I need the added buff of triple tactics. I think having 2 extra deck slots and a 42 card deck is just unnecessary for a card that's marginal at best. We also cut the Masquerena package. I think cutting that was the right decision. It allowed me to play the second Splash Mage, it's just the second Splash Mage is it's incredible. Being able to use it going first or second, or on turn 1 or turn 2, or both. I think that was really good. So yeah, I think this list is really solid. We still have the microcoder engine with the Cynet conflict. We still main the Mathmech induction. We've upped diameter to 3. I think it's important as the main normal summon of the deck, the thing we want to see the most. We've been playing 3 of it. So we've maxed out all the Mathmech names except for Sigma. Again, same reasoning, that we don't want to see it in our opening hand. The side deck did undergo a little bit of a change. I am including, I want to talk about this card, Cynet Crossweight. I think it's a pretty cool card. It's a very interesting Mystic Mine out. If you side it in, I usually side it in going second in game 2 or game 3, but whenever I'm going second, I'm usually siding this card in. What's really cool about it, since it tributes for cost, is it can actually 2 for 2 against like Mystic Mine Burn or anything that's been Mystic Mine, because if I know I'm going to a Mystic Mine match or know that Mystic Mine might be coming up, I can alter my inboard to just end on the one Heat Soul, and then in phase, their in phase, activate Cross White, target a back row, but tribute Heat Soul for cost, so we're back to 0/0 monsters. We pop a back row, and then Mystic Mine has to pop itself. So I think it's a cool card. It's searchable, so it's nice to it's telegraphed, but off the microcoder. But honestly, if they don't have the Solemn Judgment or the Dark Bride, it's a good card. I also included, I'm not sure in the list if I had the Rivalry of the Warlords. I think I did, maybe. I was back and forth on Rivalry, but I did go ahead and find space for it. I think, having more cards to go first and hopefully try to get a win that, just by floodgating out is good. I thought about Anti-Spell. Anti-Spell is nice. I just, I'm worried about all the quick play spells that are in the format right now, especially with even Runic, because it's a quick play spell archetype. So we're going to go for the Rivalry, just have a better matchup, and to see if we can lock tier elements behind a Halka Fibrax or Sprite Elf, or, when they go for those those extension plays. I think it's pretty nice. One consideration I am thinking about is moving Bell to the main deck over Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is very good versus Rogue. It's a very decent card, but versus the meta, if you can Ash a starter in Sprite, and that's it's decent, but how many times do you see Sprite run through a hand traps? Hand trap lineups. The one thing that I like about Bell is that it can hit Sprite Elf, and every deck is playing Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf is insane, and I think I don't know. I'm very tempted to main deck Bell over Ash, inside Ash, or maybe even side a Gamma, because I think those are more effective versus Sprite. But anyways, let's talk about the tournaments. Friday tournament. It was a pretty good competition. We played a lot of, I think, 3 Sprite decks in this 5-round tournaments. We had, some interesting, interactions. Game 2 versus Sprite. I win game 1. He goes first in game 2. He opens up Cap Sprite board with IP Masquerena, Elf, and Toad. We drew into the one of Pankratops out of the side deck, dropped it down, attempt to enter battle phase. They opt into Masquerena for Unicorn. So we've already got value off of just Pankratops, wiping Masquerena off the face. They activate Unicorn's effect to try to spin Pank, obviously. We chain Pank's effect, target the Toad. At that point, Toad's off the board. So we continue main phase, and then we access code, double attack for game. And it's just that was the value of Pankratops, and it's why honestly it should be in every side deck right now. Against Sprite, it is a instant win. Was there anything else that was interesting? In that one, we did get in the final match, we played Tier Elements. In game 3, we did get the bad side of playing so much non-engine. In game 3, we were on main deck Ashes, DD Crows, Ghost Bells, and we saw a hand of Super Factorial, 2 Ghost Bells, Ash, DD Crow, and I think we were citing Nib in that specific tournament, and so we also had a Nib, and yeah, they couldn't play, we couldn't play, and we just didn't draw non-gas. I think we ended up drawing into an induction or something like that, or maybe just a single subtraction. But either way, it was hard brick game 3, saw nothing but non-engine. And so Friday tournament, we finish with tiebreakers. We end up finishing, I think, 4th, which kind of sucks. Oh no, we finished 2nd in that one. Yeah, so we finished 2nd in that one. We got, I made the mistake of getting packs for packs for prize instead of store credit, because I forgot Tactical Masters came out, and honestly, no one should be opening Tactical Masters. But I mean, we can talk more about that stuff in the Build a Binder series, and we have some updates to go with that stuff, because the binder has got some major upgrades recently, or over this past week as we've been going to locals. The Saturday tournament was the 5-0 clean sweep, and this was a heavy meta tournament. I'm talking about I had played one rogue matchup, and it was a Synchron Stardust deck. Easy 2-0. We got good guy though. It was a good duel, good conversation, talking about what his deck does, and et cetera, et cetera. But outside of that, it was 4 rounds of nothing but Sprite and Tier. It was again. It was a good tournament. There was I don't really think there was too many good interactions to talk about. I think it was pretty standard. If I went first, Laplacian negates, those type of things. And I wanted to I would like to dispel something, if I can, for the people that who may stumble upon this. Tier Elements is by far Mathmech's worst matchup, and it's not for the reason why people think. A lot of people say, it's because Laplacian rip a card, and if they rip a tier, they're going to plus off of it. And my response to someone who plays the deck, and I think I played at a pretty good level. We'll see with the regional and moving forward, but you don't have to shotgun the Laplacian. like these effects are optional, so you don't have to rip a card from hand. Which is one thing. And then number 2, obviously you can read when you should be activating things. So when I go into the tier matchup, my best window for summoning Laplacian is when they go into Kakalos, chain Superfactorial to the summon. On resolution, we'll get our Laplacian. Now, if they're cheeky, they could chain block. Actually, no, they can't chain block. Yeah, no, this is perfect. Yeah, so they summon Kikalos. To the effect that's going to summon the Kikalos, we change Superfactorial, so we're on the same chain. Is resolving on the trigger for the summon effect. So let's say like a Sharon gets sent to the graveyard, they're going to go into Kikalos as their first fusion majority of the time. So we summon Laplacian, they summon Kikalos. Our triggers start to occur, so they'll trigger their search or dump. We'll trigger our Laplacian effect. We will actually send, we can actually send the Kikalos. The one counterplay they do have, and then aim to negate with Laplacian, and then obviously they do have the counterplay of they could chain block if they're smart to send the Merrill instead of adding it, and then summon it from grave. But then again, it's going to come down to play, and so there's like little interactions and windows to look for with Laplacian to get the negate on the Kit Kalos if you can. Sometimes they'll leave Kikalos up on the board because they have something that they're resolving or they want to kick off before they activate the ignition effect, or in an open game state. You can chain on resolution Laplacian, send it to the graveyard, that type of thing. You can look for those little windows to send the Kikalos and then use the Omni Negate on Laplacian to stop their mill 5. And that is the part that's important. And that's the interaction you should look for as a Mathmech player going into the tier elements. And which is how I'm able to have so far have a good win rate versus the tier elements lists. But yeah, so Saturday's tournament went pretty smoothly. Was a lot of 2-0s into both Sprite and Tier. I think we played 2 of each into those tournaments. And it was good overall. The list felt good, felt sleek, felt Felt efficient. I think at this point I was playing this list. And then the Sunday tournament comes around. It's not as many players as the Saturday and Friday night, so we only play 4 rounds, and it was all rogue. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was first round we played against the local appliancers kid. The guy's playing the appliancers deck. It was straight 2-0. Next round we played. We played Dragon Link. We got nibbed. The only interesting thing in that duel was Psychic and Punisher. I kind of misread Psychic and Punisher, so I had to scoop game 1. I could have played around the attack point game with the life points using Heat Soul. I didn't realize it was every battle phase. My own fault for not fully reading the card and etc. So we just had to scoop because I had a 6300 attack access code that could attack twice, and the Psychic and Punisher pumped up to I think it was 67, so I was short 400. So I couldn't get over it, couldn't pop it, just had to scoop. I didn't have it out in the deck. But then reverse sweep 2-0 him. It was a pretty good game. Next we played against Dinos. Dinos very easy. Impermed Oviraptor. It's a 2-card combo for Dinos, so as long as you interrupt one of the cards, they can't play the game. Easy sweep for the Dino matchup. And then final round we played Drytron. He gets me game 1. I completely misplay with my hand traps. He Ultimate Slayers me, and I sign at mining the Ultimate Slayer because he's gonna kill the Heat Soul, because if he kills the Heat Soul, sign at mining's dead. So I might as well just use sign at mining. He sends the Evil Twin, and on res I DD Crow the Evil Twin, even though he has a Drytron in graveyard. He used how did he get a Dry? He had a Drytron in grave. I forget how he put it there. But yeah, I should have just I don't know why I was trying to protect my Heat Soul so much. So I DD Crowed the Evil Twin Link, and then he pops off with the Drytron in grave, and it's from Droplets. Yeah, he droplets my Heat Soul. Which I was fine with because I'm trading my 1 card I would have drawn for 2 cards out of their hand. I was perfectly fine with that trade, and then Heat Soul's dead, so I don't know why I'm protecting it so hard outside of the Signet conflict. And I should have just let it resolve and DD Crowed the Drytron in grave, and from there it'd been a hop, skip, jump away from game. Would have Laplacian. He had triple tactics talent, which I again misplayed because I needed the Laplacian on board to do something. Which, if I saved the DD Crow to DD Crow the Drytron name when he activated the effect, so it wouldn't come back, I could have Laplacianed an in phase to rip the last card out of his hand. Just completely misplayed by me, but we ended up counter sweeping him again. He ended up kind of breaking in game 3, setting a Harpy's Feather Duster. Again, I don't know why he was setting Harpy's Feather Duster going into my build, but it is what it is. So, 4-0 sweep on Sunday. We're able to get some good credit from both the tournaments on Saturday and Sunday. Got some good cards for the binder, so probably be doing build a binder episode 2 sometime this week. I'm gonna have to get it organized, and we got some cards coming in the mail just for the next list I'll be playing after the regional. So look out for that. Build a Body, the Build a Body series is probably going to start this week. I planned to start it last week, but my girlfriend's birthday was Thursday, and so I kind of figured that it was probably going to be a shot week for kind of the weight loss stuff, because we were going to go out, have, sweets, and there's going to be wine and everything involved, a nice restaurant, that type of stuff. So, I kind of knew this week was going to be shot, and so I figured, starting the new month. So this week we'll start documenting weigh-ins for probably weekly updates, hoping that we can, especially with Boca Raton, next weekend we should have a lot of content. We'll hopefully be able to start the Build the Body series while managing both playtesting and going to this regional with workouts in between. Like I said, I think moving forward, the goal is to both get better body and better at Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think those kind of go hand in hand, especially as we start getting to larger events where we're going to be playing 8-9 hours of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just if your body is functional and good, you can have a clearer mind to make good decisions over round 7-8. I'm sure if people have gone to regionals and gone 9 rounds, like by round 5 or 6, you're kind of done. So it's an aspect of the game that isn't talked about, and I want to get there. So yeah, this in all this will be the list that I take to Boca Raton. If I do make any adjustments, it will probably be Bell into the main and Ash probably cut in favor of Gammas. We might cut a red reboot and 3 Ashes, put Bells in main and then Gammas in the side with the driver. And that would be the only update I think I'll do to the deck, and then we'll be good to go for the regional. But we're going to have to test that, so... Yeah, so let me know down in the comments or anything like that if you have anything that you change, or what was your local experiences like this past week or whenever you've gone. And yeah, let's get better at Yu-Gi-Oh! Together. Thanks, guys.